Yeah, so we're here at the ICMSA tent and we have here President Denis Drennan. So Denis, talk to us about the impacts we would have if we lost the nitrates derogation.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. I think there's been a lot of economists that have done analysis as regards the financial implications of it, but I actually think they underestimate the implication of it, in the sense that, a lot of people don't really understand that derogation farmers are not all farmers with 200-300 cows. So if you have 300 cows and derogation goes, you may have to cut to 200, but you're still a viable unit. And you will survive. But the average number of dairy herds in Ireland is 92 cows. So you're looking at then there's far more people below 92 than there is above 92. So if you take people milking 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 cows, if the derogation was to go on those, you would end up that those units just wouldn't be viable. So that ends up that the farmer has to leave the land, he or she has to leave the land and find an alternative source of income, because it's just not going to be sustainable for somebody who's milking 60 cows. It's maybe cut to 40 or 45. It's just not going to be a viable unit. So there'll be a lot of people at that scale that will be exiting the sector. You also have the issue then on the knock-on on the processors. Obviously, if the milk pool contracts due to the loss of derogation, there's going to be a lot of stainless steel in the country that has been built to facilitate the expansion in the dairy sector for the last 10 years, after being hamstrung for 30 years, that a lot of that will be left idle. And we all know that if you want processing capacity to work efficiently, it needs milk, and if it doesn't have the required amount of milk, it's not going to be as efficient. But then you have the dairy farmer, when you go down somewhere like Charleville in Cork, or you go to somewhere like Ballaragad in Kilkenny, there isn't a Microsoft, an Intel, a Google there to provide money for the rural economy. So dairy farming is the real heartbeat of the rural economy, and if those dairy farmers go missing, their heartbeats gets very slow and the pulse dies, and that's the problem with rural Ireland. So there's a huge implication, not just inside the farm gate but outside the farm gate, for the amount of employment that they create outside the farm gate, and also with the knock-on effect of the money circulating in the rural economy. They say that every euro that comes into a farmer's gate, ends up with €3 in the local economy, so that makes a huge difference. So it's going to have detrimental effects for much further knock-on than just the farmer.
Brilliant. And can you see the derogation going in the next couple of years, or would you be optimistic that it will stay around?
You'd have to be optimistic. When you see there's a whole of industry approach to protecting water quality, air quality. We've all the co-ops on board, meat industry Ireland, dairy industry Ireland, all the farm organisations, everybody working together, and there's huge buy-in from farmers. When you look at the sustainability measures, the Waters for Life projects, all those are heavily subscribed, and all farmers are really putting their shoulder to the wheel. The whole industry is putting their shoulder to the wheel. And I think we were given a commitment that if water quality turned the corner, and we all said that there would be a lag in water quality improvement, and we've seen this improvement starting to develop now. We all thought it would just be a stabilisation and then start to improve, but thankfully it has turned the corner and going in the right direction due to the hard work being put in by everybody in the sector to improve water quality. So it would be an awful shame if derogation was to be lost just as we're getting water quality right. So hopefully we have a tough battle ahead between now and the end of the year to secure derogation, because this derogation runs out on the 31st of December. But I think with everybody, and if we get political will as well, we should be able to secure the derogation with the water quality results that we're getting at the moment.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Denis. Back to you with the tent.